I'm glad you chose to spend some time with me. It's Monday morning, it's the 1st of December, and this is the first vlog in the new format that is called bookhaul carrousel. When I started off this YouTube channel, I decided to make vlogs over a 2-week time periods because I was afraid not to have enough books and or activities to present to you to make it worth watching it. But I realized that these videos tend to get a little bit longer, and I would like to try if I can cut the time by half and to be at around 15 or 20 minutes by making this weekly. I still will not be checking in like every day with how far I am on certain reads. I will keep my resume of the book read system, and we will make these videos like some style of Instagram carousel, like the my week in picture idea, but then my week in clips. I do want to introduce this type of video to you, but maybe I will not do a big introduction like this every week. I will start off today with telling you about the books that I am reading or am about to read. So I have always 2 books going on, one audiobook and one physical book. In the audio format, I will be starting the month with the 3rd book in the series of La Sorcière Nokwell by Inès. I have listened to the first 2 books in October and November, and I will be finishing up this series. And since I already have it on my Audible, this is what I will be starting with. Also, this week is very busy, and that will be a book that is easy to listen to. It is also not extremely long, so that makes that it should I should be able to finish it this week. So the dog is having zoomies. You will hear him going around the house, just so you know. And I will also be reading a physical book. So for that, I am a little bit sad that I did not finish up the book I started for the Adventure in Eorzea for November. So I will have like this little third left to read. And this is in the Princess and Curdie, and it is George MacDonald, I think. Let me check that. Wait, George MacDonald. I just love the way these books are illustrated. And so normally I should be able, to finish this up very soon. This is then also something that will change starting December. Instead of having wrap-ups that hold my reading journal statistics update and trackers update and a review of the books that I read out of readathons, all my books will be put into these vlogs. So there will be no unspoken books of in his review. So the end of the review of the statistics will hold a list of the videos and in which one you can find which book. So the wrap-up that is coming up for November will still be the old format though. So I hope that you will like to come along with us. This week in Belgium we are focused on Saint Nicolas, which is a local tradition. Basically it is a Christian festival for the Saint Nicolas, who is the Saint Patron of the children, the people who work on boats, and something else that I forgot. And it is in many places just commercial, like the kids get gifts. In our house, we have participated for many years now in a tradition that is called the Spiekpietjes. And these are, it's basically like Elf on the Shelf with little puppets. And we are doing that, and we will go to the library this week. So we'll take you along to meet Saint Nicolas and have a story hour. And it will be an antenna that we didn't film before. So you can have to see this new post of the library. And we'll see. I'm not pretty sure what else we are going to do this week, but we are already quite busy.
Het Spiekpietje tuimelde van zijn wereldje en viel helemaal naar beneden. Hij bleef hangen aan een tak van een spar. En hij keek verward om zich heen en hij zag een wollige uil op een tak zitten. Vriend, mompelde de uil, een Spiekpietje in mijn spar. Dat is werkelijk nog nooit gebeurd. Hallo meneer de uil, piepte het pietje. Kunt u me misschien helpen? Ik moet kindjes gaan bezoeken. Geen probleem, zei de uil. Hij plukte het.
I come back to you because I have finished the book that I did. Hey, Yakazar. We have a friend. I finished The Princess and Curdie. That was the book that I mentioned earlier that I carried over from November and that I was still reading. And I read this book because I needed an adventure book, but also because it's the second book in a duology. And the first one is called The Princess and the Goblin. And it is indicated in the front notes that this is the very first fantasy book. And so I read the first one, which I indeed liked a lot. It feels very fairy tale-y, but I thought it was quite a cozy fantasy to read. And so I wanted to read the second volume that was also in this book series that I collected. And so I wanted to know how this story would go on. So even if both stories do stand on themselves, I feel that you can read the second without having read the first. This one still points back to the previous events. And I liked this one a little bit less than the first one. Maybe it's because we change from Princess Irene, who is quite a little girl, and that adds this dreamy vibe to the book, the well-willing, the maybe naive, but she's not naive, but she's still in this kind place of childhood. In this one, we will follow Curdie, who is sent off by the angel, fae, great-great-grandmother of Irene to go find the king and Irene, who now lives with him, and to help them for a mission that we basically don't know what the mission is. And then we will follow his travels, and we will follow how he arrives at this castle, and we'll discover with him what his mission is. And it feels, well, it has still this very fairy tale vibe. It feels less credible than the previous one. So it stays something that is in the realm of the fantasy, but a 13-year-old boy doing all the things that are happening in here and having seems a little bit exaggerated. And I thought it was less, not dreamy, less fairy tale-y maybe, and already more to the more big fantasy quests. But I still enjoyed reading it, so it will not be my next 5 stars for sure, but it was certainly not a waste of time, especially since his importance for the fantasy genre. So if you want to discover that, then this will be quite a cozy and I will not say easy, but a gentle going read. I will not read this with my 8 years old. I think it is a little bit too complex, but I will see if I can get Jorin and Niklaus interested in this, because I think that especially in this one, where the main character is a 13-year-old boy who is quite a hero, might appeal to that age group. So with this book finished, I can finally jump into my December TBR. I'm quite excited for that. And I have decided that I will not be reading the books in the order that I spin them. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go visit my December TBR video, in which that's more in depth. I will start by reading this book. It is The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim. It's the second book in the Six Crimson Crane series. And the reason I will be reading this book first, there are two reasons. One, it is a book from the library. So I always try to read those first so I can bring them back. Second, this book is also on my son's list, and I read quicker than him. So as soon as I'm done with it, he can pick this book up. And that's why out of all the library books that I have, this one is the one I will be reading first. I really loved the first one. So I hope that the second one will be in the same vibe. And I'm really curious to see how the events are going to unfold, and how the couple, and now it is Shiori and Takan, if they will find each other or not, and how this will end. So I will come back to you when I finish this. I will try to get it read before Sunday, but I'm not sure that this will happen. But if it's not done before Sunday, then we'll talk about it next week.
Saint Nicolas, patron des écoliers, apporte-moi tes pommes dans mon petit panier.
This week we wanted to include in our carousel some of the books we read with the little ones, since we have been reading some Saint Nicolas books that you might not know in the English-speaking world. We have read, and we'll start with this one, which is called The Little Spiekpietje in Danger, and it is by Thaïs Vanderheyden. And this is one of the books that introduces the little puppet we have over here, and the adventures and why that they visit the children's home. The images are very nice. So I love this book particularly because it is full of the Saint Nicolas spirit of being nice to each other. Another one that we've read is this one. It is in French, and it is called Saint Nicolas and the Stubborn Donkey, because sometimes Saint Nicolas comes with a donkey who carries the toys he brings. And it is aimed for smaller kids. It is cardstock. The author isn't mentioned. Eggy.
J'aime bien le gris poilu. Côté noir.
Iggy, you have your audience, my guy, but va te coucher. Allez, va te coucher. My kids like it because the story is very funny and the images are full of color. A third one that we've read is this one, and it is called Saint Nicolas is Looking for a Horse. It is by Ann Wauters, and what is very special about this book is that it is bilingual. So in Belgium we speak Dutch and French, and in this book on every page we have a text in Dutch and in French, and we read both languages. In this story introduces some elements of around the world when the little Pete's go look for a horse for Saint Nicholas because his horse seems out of shape, and at the end we have a big discovery that in fact his horse is a she and she just got a little baby horse. And I like this one because of the bilinguality of the opportunity to use the same story in different ways, but also because of the adventure that the Petes are living in it. Children that listen to these stories are Meyrine and Naoki, and I would like to know, lequel vous préférez? Celui-là? C'est ça le préféré? Celui-là? Et ça c'est ton préféré? Each one chose his favorite story. They enjoyed all three of these stories. They are rereads for us. We read them every year. So I hope that this showed you some of our Saint Nicholas traditions.
Hi, I'm here to talk to you about House of Hollow by Krystal Sutherland. Sorry if I'm saying that name wrong, which I absolutely liked. So I'm filming this little section for Mom in her carousel vlogs. In this story, we meet Iris, who disappeared together with her two older sisters, Gray and Vivi, for 1 month, about 10 years ago. Iris is about 17. And when they come back, they don't remember anything from what happened during that month. And also, they changed in several ways. Their hair turned completely white, their eyes turned completely black, and there's something magical around them between people out of their family, and also between the sisters. There's like kind of a magical bond, which I find absolutely beautiful too in the story. And when Gray, the oldest, disappears again, Iris, together with Vivi, will need to figure out the truth about what happened during that month, and just like it flows, discover who she really is now. I really like the magical vibes of this story, that it refers to different legends, which I find very cool. As I think the magical bond, like I said, between the sisters, I find absolutely beautiful. It's very beautiful. Although the ending goes quite quickly, and I find that I missed some details in the ending. But overall, I had a really fun time, and I really recommend if you like YA fantasy / horror with touch of mystery.
It's Sunday evening and it is time to wrap up this vlog. I hope you enjoyed the little snippets of my walks in the forest and of the Saint Nicholas activities we did with the children. But before leaving, I need of course to update you on the reading I've done. I finished on Friday La sorcière Nokwell 3. Which is called Foudre, and I really enjoyed this audiobook just as I enjoyed the two first ones in this series. We still follow Ali and her friends, but now the war with the vampires is over and they need to deal with the Council of Mages, who is quite hostile towards Ali and her friends, and we will follow them along while they are trying to defend themselves from those mages. I surprised myself a lot, but I also finished The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim. I finished it this morning. I didn't expect that. I did a lot of reading with the reading sprints that Clio hosted for the Game Night on Lottery edition on Friday. Thank you, Clio, for this huge motivation. I enjoyed this book a lot. Chi? Chi, t'es dans le chemin. I really loved it. So it is the sequel, this Dragon Promise, of 6 Crimson Cranes, and we pick up when Shiori ends up the first parts of the events, and we dive straight into the next ones. It is very difficult, again, to talk about it a lot because it is spoiling some major elements of the first book, if I tell you, but we set off on another adventure in which Shiori will have to face a lot of hard decisions, and we discover more of this world, and we will also dive deeper in her relationships with Takan, but also with Seryu, who is one of the characters that she met in the first part. I was hooked to it from the start to the end, and I am very happy that I read it, and so now I want to read the prequel. There is one other bookish thing I want to talk to you about before saying goodbye, and that is a very small book haul. My husband gifted me 2 books this week. The first one is this Final Fantasy XIV spin-off manga. It is called Acaemy Eorzea, and I think it is exactly the same title in English because I looked it up. It is translated. This is a one-shot manga that is set into the world of the MMO that I play and that I showed in the video about looking for group. I will link it here. And in this book we will see our favorite characters of the story of the game set in another context, and I am looking forward to reading this book. And the second book he got me is by Marc Levy. This is an author that has been translated to English, but not this one yet. And this book is called La librairie des livres interdits, or the library or the bookshop of the forbidden books. There is not much of information in it, but let me start off by showing. So this is a hardcover, and it has this dust jacket, but it also has a very beautiful naked cover. The back has nothing on it. And then the inside papers, they are the same in the front of the back, do have the same image as the cover. In this book, as what I understand of it, we are going to follow Mitch. Mitch has been imprisoned because of him selling forbidden books, and when he, after 5 years, gets out of prison, he gets torn between going back to his bookshop and continuing his fight for these books, but also a love that a lady that he meets, and his love for her that will be influenced by his past. I think that this book will be very engaged about books that were forbidden in the United States, because I had a look through the back pages, and there is an explanation about a law that was made in Florida in 2022 about books that were forbidden, and it holds a list and a link to a website about forbidden books as well. So now this book is high on my radar. I do want to read it because it's a topic that interests me in comprehending better, because I don't think in Europe we really have this type of law going on. I saw also on this list there are several books that I have read and that I have read in school, And I must admit that it made me hesitate because I have been planning for my 2026 reading, and I saw an idea on another Belgian YouTuber that is about picking random books from your Goodreads list and putting those on your TBR for the year. And I prepared that, but now I'm also wanting to maybe read a little bit more of these forbidden books. But both projects will be a little bit much. So please let me know in the comments which project you would like to see me realize. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And I wonder, I need to edit to see if I got it under 30 minutes. Let's say with the expectations of how the format will work, maybe I will allow myself to go around 25 minutes, but not more than that. And I'll see you next week. See you soon!